As you can see here, I'm working on the tree portion of my logo, which you saw in the intro. Now there's a lot of detail in there. As you can see, each pilot hole represents a cut that needs to be made, and for time's sake, I'm not going to show you every single cut. And even as I'm working on this video, there's more done, but it's not anywhere close to done being cut out, but I wanted to show you some progress. And part of the purpose of this video is a filler until I get the build video I've been working on. That will be coming soon. That's how to make a vase on a scroll saw out of a slab of wood. But I wanted to show you me working on at least the tree portion of the logo. Howdy folks, this is Charles Daring. I just wanted to, while I'm waiting on other projects to get finished that I've been filming, I wanted to give y'all a basic rundown of scroll saws. Now, I don't have any others here to show you, so I'm only going to be able to tell you about this one, but some of the things are universal as far as what their purpose is and how they work. This particular saw is a Hegner. Anyways, that's that. I'm going to give you a basic rundown of what different parts of the scroll saw are. This is your tension lever. Now, sounds are going to be important to this. That's without tension on the blade. And on this particular saw, those rollers go into the back notch. And this is the sound in 99% of the cases that you want to hear when you are tensioning your scroll saw blade. Let me try to get some more light on there so I'm not wasting y'all's time. Hopefully that helps some. This is the sound you want to hear. Now, anybody that knows about music could tell you that key. I can't, because I don't know about music. That sound is relatively important. It gives you an idea of what a good tensioned scroll saw blade sounds like. Now, I'm going to purposely turn down the tension back here. Let me take the tension off of the lever first. I have to pull that forward. This is your tension knob. You usually don't have to mess with this more than once unless you've had a blade break. Sometimes it'll loosen. Now I'm going to pull this tension lever and you will see that the sound will not be the same. That's as if the lever were pulled forward, but it's not. So I'm going to go back over here and we're going to tighten that knob. Don't want to do it too tight because that will break the blade, and I'm going to try for that same sound. And I believe that's it. So between the tension lever and the tension knob, that is how you will get your tension correct on your blade. Now this particular saw is the only one I've seen that uses this particular clamp system. Now this, I believe that this part was an aftermarket part. I believe they call it a quick clamp. I'm going to try to do that. I apologize for all the camera shaking. I'm doing this without a tripod because of so many things I got to show you. That threads into the upper blade clamp, and that's a stationary clamp. This knob right here. Sorry, I'm using a flashlight as well. And excuse my dirty fingernails, been doing a lot of cleaning. Anyways, this right here is what holds this upper blade clamp in place, and that's a little cradle. Try to shine some light on that for you. And that stays in place. The one that you put the blade in and put in and out when you have a blade break is this one. Luckily I have a flashlight, so hopefully this will make some sense. Now, the reason why my cover is taken off is because I've had this saw for so long that has a short in it. Occasionally I need to jiggle the wires, and here you can see the RPMs of the blade. It goes all the way up to 1700. That's pretty darn fast. That's how fast I keep it going. But anyway, that's what makes this saw a variable speed. I'm shining the light on the lower blade clamp. That's the one that keeps the blade in it, and you release it from this top one each and every time you have to make a new cut and thread through a new pilot hole. And this area is the bevel gauge. Now I use a digital bevel gauge on the table, and if you see my past videos when I do that, or maybe I haven't done it yet on a video because that's one of the videos I'm working on, but this is for loosening and tightening the bevel gauge, and that bevel gauge slides this table left and right, and it only goes so far one direction. It's meant to bevel this way, and I would do that right now, but I have it tightened down pretty tight because I needed it square. I need it square for what I'm doing. Let me show you other parts of the saw. This is your on-off switch. I need to clean that because sawdust obviously isn't good for a motor. I don't have a dust collection system on it, but I believe it was set up for it. I don't remember where the panel was. I believe it was on one of the sides, but I took one of the panels off to be able to get access to all areas of it. Excuse me while I move things around so I can show you more parts. You will notice this tube that goes into this upper arm here. This is for blowing dust off of your workpiece as you go. And I'm looking through a camera, is why you see me pointing at places that aren't where I'm intending. Anyways, that tube, the air blows out through here, and that's how it's getting here. And the reason that tube is able to blow air, if you'll follow that tube, it goes around the other side, and therefore I will be going around the other side to show that to you. Again, excuse the shaky camera. This is your bellow. It's like the bellow you use on a fireplace. It expands and contracts as the lower arm. Did I zoom in? Yeah, that's what the problem is. As this lower arm goes up and down, that's what makes that bellow work and pump air through the tube here. And that, as you saw, goes around to there. So we've got the tension lever, the quick clamp. This is a zero clearance, as this is after being used. You know, I've chewed a little bit bigger hole in there, but if you want complete zero clearance, which means you don't want any hole around that blade, you can use a business card. This one's been used, and you tape it down. Obviously, the smaller hole you have, the less chance of something coming down through that hole that you want to keep. But that's the purpose of a zero clearance, is that there's a very small piece that you're cutting that you want to keep, and you don't want to lose it. That's when you want to use a business card or anything flat and relatively thin. Now, it's not taped in place right now because I wanted to be able to show you all these things. This is a tree, which is part of my logo for my eventual website called woodenvisions.com. That's not up yet, so don't waste your time trying to find it. Okay, what else can I show you? This part here rotates as the well, why don't I turn it on, genius? Okay, I've got all the tension and everything there. Now see, I've turned the power on, and because of that short I need to jiggle this around. I don't know if you can see because of shutter speed. As you can see, it's also a relatively quiet tool. And you can see it's expanding and compressing the the bellow. Hopefully you can hear me over this saw. If not, I'm wasting my time. But as I turn it off, you'll see how that thing rotates here. Yeah, it's doing that and that. That's what makes the upper arm go up and down. You also have the spring to keep the tension between the upper and lower arms, and I haven't had to replace anything on this saw since I got it, except for getting more of the lower blade clamps, which here's one that's got a broken blade on it, but this is what you buy. These are relatively expensive in my opinion, but they do hold up if you don't put too much tension on here. Now they come in different sizes for different kinds of blades. It comes with it does not come with, you have to order it. Same website. I'll put all that in the description. This little hex key. And trying to do it through the camera is not working. But to replace that blade, this thing right here, and you'll notice on the diagram it's showing you the direction the teeth need to go. This is for the lower blade clamp to put blades in and out of. And I love that for those of us that just flat can't remember stuff, or maybe you have calloused hands and can't remember, you know, when you're trying to feel for the blade direction of the teeth. This is showing you that the teeth are pointing towards. Let's drop everything because that's what we need to do here. As you can see, I have great dust collection. My dust collection is called a broom, which hasn't been used in a while. But anyway, this is a Hegner specific thing. Not all saws have this. But that goes in there and that holds it in place. And let me zoom out. Turn it to loosen it, and now I can pull the broken blade right back out. And obviously following the teeth thing, you make sure the teeth are pointed down, you slide the other one back in there, and then you just tighten that back up. I hope I haven't missed anything, but I wanted to use this as a basic for scroll saws. There are many brands. This is considered a higher end saw. That's why the parts are so expensive, and it is worth its money. I've had it for over 10 years. I think closer to 14 to 16 years. And the only thing I feel I need to replace is this divoted up table, but I can't afford $200 right now. But yeah, obviously the smooth table will work for making pieces move better, but I've had it divoted. I don't even know if divoted is a word. I can't even say it, so, but that's that. And the stand, I believe, is an option. You can mount it to, there's sawdust in there, but this is bolted down to the stand. I believe the stand is an option. I don't know if it comes with it or not. It's been so long since I got it. I put that piece of wood there to rest my feet on while I'm sitting down on this high-tech stool. I do not stand to scroll because it gets my back to hurting. The only real maintenance besides the table, if you took care of it to begin with, which I did not, is as you can see here, put oil regularly into upper and lower bearing of the oscillating arms. That would be here and here. Now that's something I haven't done a whole lot of, and I should. But I found that after I've done it, because I don't know where my manual is, so I don't know how much to put on there. So I'm probably not a good example of even showing how to do this, but you put machine oil in these two spots and that keeps them looped up. But I found that after I got done doing that, it would occasionally, because I do such large pieces, it would occasionally drop a little drop of oil onto the piece I was working on, no matter how little I used. So I don't keep up with that as well as I should. But each saw will have its own maintenance. Some of them are general, some of them are saw specific. And I believe that's everything. And again, in order for my channel to live very long, I need y'all to ask me questions if there's something I'm not covering. On one of my videos I was telling you about the kind of blades I use and where I get them. I get them from Flying Dutchman. That's the logo. It's mikesworkshop.com is the place I get them from, and probably the most popular. But 12 dozen is called a gross, a half gross, so I'll be half of that, 6 dozen. This tells you the size of the blade, and I believe all scroll saw blades, these are pinless by the way, almost no scroll saw comes out, at least in America, with pinned blades. All blades are 5 inches long. These are more specific dimensions, 36 teeth per inch. That's what TPI stands for. These are made in Germany, but Mike Morlock, MOORLACH, at mikesworkshop.com. That's not his email address. That's just his name and his website. His email address is mike at mikesworkshop.com. Sells these. He has very good pricing. But they come in bundles that are little bitty wires. But this is what 12 dozen spiral blades look like in the size of number 5. I told you about the tree being in the logo. That's the sign I'm working on. That's just dry fitted on there. The hand's not even in place. That's just the waist part sitting on top of it. Yeah, and that didn't matter that broke, because that was the waist part. But this is where the tree is going to go in that logo, and eventually I'll have this in the background when I'm talking in the computer room.